We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody, this is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show, and today we have an awesome interview with a very special guest. This is Melissa Porter. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story.
Thanks, Matt, for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Melissa here, she just came to our recent retreat, which was just a couple weeks ago, and she had incredibly profound results. And Melissa, when I first saw you, I met you for the first few days, I could sense that, you were run down and, your life force was kind of drained a bit, and you were really looking for something big time. Was that the case?
Absolutely, yes. That is exactly why I took the monumental trip out for the retreat.
And then when you left, it was like you were a completely different person. It was like you had a spark in your eye, you looked extremely healthy, and you were just smiling in gratefulness that you have this new path ahead of you.
Absolutely. I didn't realize how much of an effect the retreat would have on me. The first 5 days were phenomenal in part of getting my energy back and restoring my sleep because I felt so tired. And since then, it's just continuing to blossom. I feel fantastic.
Awesome. Real quickly, I'm going to tell your story and you can kind of expand upon it.
Sure.
Yeah, Melissa was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2010, and she went under chemotherapy, and she has been in pain ever since. And maybe you could tell us about how you were a marathon runner and your greatest joy in life was taken from you.
Yes, I had started running in about maybe 2000, and it started as a social thing for me. I joined a local run club. I met a lot of my friends that way. We spent our time running on the roads and talking about our families, talking about how we could just improve things in life. It was my social outlet. And about 2000, I decided to run my first marathon, which was my very best friend in the world. I said, I don't care if it takes me all day. I want to run a marathon. Let's try. And it went very, very well for me.
Right.
And she was not new to marathoning, but I was. So for 10 years after that, I continued to run road races, 5Ks, 10Ks, and I've done 18 marathons up until 2010 of 26.2 miles.
Wow.
My last marathon was in June or July of 2010, and I was diagnosed in August. And they were very concerned with my diagnosis. They said that I had cancer for a very long time. My tumor was huge. Now, I had mammograms every single year for 5 years, and they never detected the mass that I had in my left breast. And by the time they did, I had said, there's something going on here. I can feel something. It's changing. Can we get an ultrasound? And when they did the ultrasound, they found that it was a large mass, and I was told that I had cancer for at least 5 years.
Wow.
So they rushed me into treatment. Within a week, I had a portacath placed. They set up chemotherapy treatment for me. And by, maybe 2 weeks after that, I had started a chemotherapy regimen of 3 different types of chemotherapy at one time every 3 weeks.
So then you did chemotherapy, and after that, your life completely changed.
It did. I had chemotherapy for 6 full months. And chemotherapy, they don't just give you the chemotherapy drug, they also give you a steroid so you don't reject the drug. And amongst other things, to try to keep your stomach in order, because chemotherapy really affects the lining of your intestines.
Right.
So they had me on all sorts of different things, antiemetics and things like that, but I was nauseous for 6 full months.
Wow. And so then you couldn't exercise anymore because
within a month after the chemotherapy stopped, neuropathy so bad, all the nerves in my hands and feet it was very, very painful. So then they put me on another drug to stop the pain in my hands and feet, which did allow me to exercise to run, but within maybe 50, 75 yards. The neuropathy in my chest was so bad that I had to stop. I could not run. I couldn't walk uphill. Anything that increased my lung expansion hurt so bad that I just couldn't do it.
And that was in 2010 or 11?
That's 2011 now.
Okay, so that was a few years ago, 2011. You couldn't do any more. Your greatest joy was taken away from you, and all you could do was walk.
Right.
But that was even difficult when you were walking fast or going upstairs, you were telling me.
Yes, and if we came to a hill, I had to go up maybe half of the hill and rest for the pain to go away and then continue up the hill.
So you were also telling me, because of your demanding job, that you needed to take the drugs in terms of having enough energy.
Yes, I couldn't climb the stairs at work, really push myself like I needed to push myself with that kind of pain. The pain was interrupting my everyday lifestyle. So I needed to take something to stop the pain just so I could try to live a normal life. And that's when I was started on the SNRI, which I'd been on for the last 3 years.
And then you were on other drugs too? You were telling me about a chemo...
Yeah, chemoprophylaxis drug, which is tamoxifen. And what it does is it blocks the uptake of my own estrogen, because my cancer was estrogen and progesterone fed.
And how long were you on that for?
3 years.
Okay, so you were taking both of these drugs for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And for the last 3 years, you had issues doing exercise. Your greatest joy was taken away from you. You were run down. You came to the retreat. And at our retreat, we offer a option where you could do a 100% raw food diet, or you could do 100% with cooked whole foods. And you chose to go all the way and go 100% raw. Furthermore, we give everybody these 4-quart enema bags to utilize if they so choose. And Melissa went all the way with everything and started to do enemas every morning. You did 1 enema every morning.
Correct. Yep.
And then on top of that, we have a hyperbaric chamber here, which is a chamber that a person can get in. We use ambient air, and the chamber is actually cloth material. It's bendable, but when a person goes in there and we zip it up, ambient air straight from the air is injected into the chamber, and then it fills up, but then it keeps going to where the PSI, pounds per square inch, goes all the way up to 4.5 PSI. So what happens is oxygen is injected into every cell of the body. And Melissa got into this thing. It's probably like on the 3rd night or something. And normally a person goes in there for an hour or two, but you loved it so much that you decided to stay in there for literally about 4 hours the first time.
Mm-hmm. I did.
How was that for you?
Well, I had to adjust first, because it's like going up in an airplane. Your ears have to adjust and you have to get comfortable. And I really was able to relax in there, which I haven't been able to do in a long time. And I was kind of between it, like in an awake and asleep kind of state. And I got out of there feeling amazing. It was fantastic. I wanted to do it again.
Right. Yeah, so we had Melissa just to come in every single night if she wanted, for as long as she wanted, and you took advantage of that. So the combination of all these things made you feel amazing for the first time in a very long time.
To the point where I couldn't stop smiling and laughing. And it was bizarre, actually. A couple times people looked at me like, are you laughing at me? And I said, no, I'm just laughing because I feel so good and I have so much joy in me right now. I'm laughing.
That's awesome. And you have energy. And on top of that, you are actually running 3 miles again.
I'm walking and running. I'm able to run, and I'm not fit enough to go the full 3 miles yet. But I go out for 3 miles every day, and I run as much of it as I can, and I have no pain.
And you've had pain up until the retreat.
Correct. Severe pain. I mean, to where if I didn't take my pills, I'd hurt to walk on my feet.
That is awesome. And one more thing. So we're sitting there at the retreat, everybody, and it was dinner time, probably on like the 4th night, 5th night, I don't remember. But Melissa comes up to me, and she says, Matt, I started to wean off of my drugs, and I'm beginning to go through withdrawals, and I'm feeling it. What do you suggest? And I suggested to you that, you can take a pill whenever the withdrawals are too strong. Maybe just take 1 a smaller dosage of what you're doing, and then go for as long as you can again. And when it's too much again, you can take the pill again. And then what did you do at that point from there on after?
I waited until the next day, and it was the morning, and I felt really sick to where it was affecting me having a good time at the retreat. So I took a pill, and I felt better, and it lasted for 3 or 4 more days, and probably by the end of the 5th day, I had to take another one. And since then, I haven't felt sick at all to the point where I needed to take another pill.
So you've pretty much completely weaned off of all of the pharmaceutical drugs?
Correct. I have.
In a very short period of time?
Yes, and I think with the cleansing that I did, it made it possible to do it in a shorter period of time. I think if I would have tried without all the raw food and the colonics and the hyperbaric chamber, it would have taken me a lot longer, because I've been on them for a long time.
Right, like years, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you couldn't run, and now you're running.
Yeah.
This is amazing, everybody. So this is just another example of a healing story where a person utilized this formula that we talked about, where you go on an improved diet, and the colon cleansing actually enables us to remove the detoxification and the withdrawals in a very quick period of time. Although it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because it can become more intense at the same time, but it's also like cheating the process. You're getting out a lot more faster. And a lot of people don't realize, they think enemas and colonics, they don't do much because they just remove the solid feces, but it does way more than that. It actually removes the detoxification and the withdrawals. The withdrawals that a person goes through when they're going through withdrawals of pharmaceutical drugs or something like coffee, that was something they drank. It's not something that you're eliminating in solid feces form. It comes out in the form of acid, is gas, and cleansing with the colon actually removes all this. So this is one of the reasons I feel that, you know, you were probably able to wean off the drugs so fast.
I completely agree with that. I tried doing raw last summer, and I really struggled with it because I didn't have all the information that I needed.
Right.
I knew that something was missing. I didn't know how to go about doing better with raw food, so I couldn't stick to a 100% raw diet at that time. I never felt good. It seemed like I never felt any better, even 2-3 weeks into it. The best I had felt at that time was I did a 10-day juice fast, and by the 10th day I felt completely amazing, but as soon as I started adding the food back into my diet, I still felt really horrible. And without the colonics, as you stated, it wasn't nearly as effective. I still had the pain. I didn't get any relief like I did on your retreat.
That is awesome. It's kind of similar, like if you were to take, they throw heroin addicts in hospitals and they go absolutely crazy, screaming and breaking the walls and doing whatever they can. If they were to administer them with a healthy diet along with doing colon cleansing, their withdrawals and detox would be a lot less painful due to this concept that is kind of lost and people don't know about.
And I think they'd be a lot more successful in the long run, keeping people off from whatever it is that makes them feel good.
Because you feel great.
I feel amazing. I feel amazing. It's fantastic.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome. So here's just another example where a person went on a raw food or cooked whole foods diet and healed and weaned off drugs and healed from, a condition which it seemed that you have. And if you want to learn exactly how to do this yourself in your own home, I created a video talking about exactly how to do this, how to heal yourself naturally, either on a raw food diet or a cooked whole foods diet. I've met thousands and thousands of people who have utilized this process to help heal themselves from all sorts of conditions, ailments, and degenerative diseases. And this is available at the link below. Melissa, thank you so much for coming on. I feel like I'm so glad you came to the retreat. I feel like I have a very special spiritual bond with you. And, if you ever need anything, I'm here for you. And
thank you. Thank you very much. And I am so glad also that I went to the retreat because you have changed my life completely. I'm living a much, much better life. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. I don't want to take the credit for it because you did it. I was just there to, say this is something you could do.
I have to add, too, that I haven't had coffee since your retreat either. I was hooked on coffee. I had coffee morning, noon, late afternoon. And when I went through my cleanse, I haven't had any coffee since either. So, yeah, my coworkers, they feel bad for me, and I tell them, don't feel bad for me. I feel the best I have felt in years. So everything's great. Thank you, Matt.
Maybe you could tell us that's what your new motto is. Nothing tastes as good.
Oh, yes, yes. Nothing tastes as good as raw feels.
That's awesome. Cool. Okay. Thank you, Melissa, again. This is Matt Monarch and Melissa, and we'll see you next time at the Raw Food World TV show.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.